and it won't go in. So what ended up happening is she snapped this piece, this plastic piece came off and broke off from the battery, snapped the threads. She was like, I can't believe I fucking broke this thing off in your ass. It's like a double-edged sword, right? The job's making you miserable, and you're trying to hang on to some sense of yourself and try not to succumb to your breaking your values or any of your morals. You know, so you're trying to play this game, this very dangerous game with your soul, you know. You know, and you could lose all your money and the people you love through this process. But what I found out was I completely lost myself. Not because of the drugs or the mental illness. I became something else because I stayed in that business. Or... that was the toughest part, right? Because now that you're no longer in that business, you're left with this shell of yourself, like, who the fuck am I? I'm this now? Okay, well, what do I do? Oh, I know exactly what I'm doing, because this is the type of person I am. This is what I'm going to do, right? So you continue the same path, because now you've become this thing. And this thing is miserable and full of hate. And you're gonna be drawn to your next job that allows you to be that person, and that's what's happened to me, right? "Quote unquote" muscle for hire. You know, and then the light bulb finally goes off, and just like, I can't be this person anymore. It wasn't like, oh, I can't handle this mental illness anymore. Oh, I can't handle being a drug addict anymore. Oh, I can't handle being an alcoholic anymore. It was like, who the fuck was I when I was 18? You know, when looking everything back, like, let's see if we can find that guy again. You know, what was that guy at 18 thinking about? You know, what was the dreams of that 18-year-old? What was his aspirations? Of course, besides fucking getting laid, because 18-year-olds, that's all they think of was getting laid, right? You know, and driving home from out west, dude, it was like, it's impossible. There's no, I've done too much, I've come too far. There is just no way to change what I became. And it all started from being in a job that I didn't like. Actually, like is a soft word. Like, I fucking hated going to work. I fucking hated it. I can't stress how much I hated it. And bodybuilding's always been in my life since a kid. Something always threw me off track. Even when I was Loblaws, you know, in the early days. Well, of course, my first memory of bodybuilding was Joe Weider's Bodybuilding Encyclopedia. It was like a package, you know, you get this book and charts and stuff. It was like in 1983. You know, and I always went back to it, and like I said, could never stick with it, right? Like, even when I got really sick when I was off, probably 2013, just a couple years before I was let go. I figured it out. I had figured it out. But given that situation at that time, I just couldn't pursue it. A lot of reasons. But that stuck with me. You know, I even remember saying in one of my past videos, you know, I was actually trying to think, when was I, since, you know, like, it couldn't have been all bad since I started with Costco in '96. There must have been some points in my life where I was really happy. You know, there must have been some points in there. And a lot of those, the two of those times was when I was actually into bodybuilding, really into bodybuilding. You know, 1998, me and my first wife were really into it. Like, we actually had a gym in our house, like fucking serious fucking gym. You know, I think we spent almost 10 grand on it. You know, and then again in 2008, you know, working out made me happy, but just couldn't sustain it. I wouldn't make it a priority over everything else. My job always came before that. You know? Came before your happiness, your own happiness. You know, you have to plan for your escape. You have to, if you're in a shitty job, you know, and you want to follow your passion, you have to plan for it, you know. But what you fail to say is it's going to be a hell of a lot more than that. It's going to be, you have to take a pretty good look at who you are now, you know. And that was probably one of my biggest challenges. The job became who I was. Like, that's what it was. This character, this turbo, this number one. You know, there was no Scott outside of work and Scott at work. It was the same guy. You know, living the same story, living the same craziness. There wasn't a separation. There wasn't a home life and a work life. You know, that was the hardest part. Was, well, this person doesn't know how to do anything else. So, about October, November, December, January, February, March. So about 6 months ago, I get this phone call. It says, hello. Woman on the phone says, is this my freak? I said, excuse me? You heard me, is this my freak? Holy shit. How are you? I haven't heard that name in a while. I used to work weekends in Montreal, and this is the woman I used to see when I used to go there. Well, the main one. She goes, you still in the business? I said, no. I said, are you? She goes, yeah. I said, well, where are you? She goes, I'm in Ottawa. I said, you're working? She goes, yeah, I'm down at the hotel. I said, which one? She goes, Armada. She goes, why don't you come down? I said, babe. A lot's happened since we've been last together. As much as I love to see you, not really sure if I can live up to that nickname anymore. Things have changed a little. She goes, what? What are you talking about? Get your fucking ass down here. Okay, fine, fuck it, whatever. She goes, by the way, I got a fucking present for you anyway, so I got something I want to show you. I said, really? Okay, all right. So I get to her room. Great to see her. She still looks like $1 million fucking dollars, $1.5 million. She goes, come over, sit on the bed. So I sit on the bed. She goes, do you remember this? I says, how could I forget? She said, I was rummaging through my closet and found this stuff in the back. She sat there, she held it, she said she held it, and she says she couldn't stop laughing. She says, one thing, Scotty, I can definitely say about you, you definitely know how to make a memory. So, would you like to hear the story about this thing? So, yeah, she was right. I was a freak, you know. When I worked in Montreal and got finished running the errands, you know, sometimes things would go questionably, and I guess I wouldn't feel the best about the way things went, or, you know, I was just a fucking maniac. And, you know, drugs and sex, you know, I've told this many times, it was my release. It was my way of getting back to the real world. Not that what we had was real, you know. The world we live in was definitely fantasy. So one night in particular, we were together. Well, actually, it was a Sunday afternoon. Well, it started at Saturday night after everything had been finished up, and kind of partied and went into Sunday afternoon. Up all night, you know, coke, meth, ecstasy, whatever I don't know what we were doing, but it was definitely a stimulant. And I don't know how it kind of conversation came about, but I want to do something new. So we're sitting in their room, and I says, I got an idea. Is there a sex shop around? I says, this is what I want to do. I want to go grab some toys, and I want you to masturbate while I read a romantic novel to you. She goes, what? Yeah, something different. Because I was so coked up, I couldn't get her hard on anyway. So I don't know, it just seemed like a good idea at the time. You know, my mind used to work very differently back then. Well, it's still, well, anyways. So, called our driver and dropped us off at the sex shop. So a little backstory. My first wife used to have one of these, and I don't know, for a reason we named it MR.PLEASER. So I seen this thing freaking hanging off one of those rails. I'm like, hey, MR.PLEASER. She goes, what? I ain't fucking putting that thing in me. You know, it's come on. Look at it. It's got the safety anus thing there, the turn on vibrator thing. You know, it's not that big. It's a fucking monster. So, I talked her into getting it. She goes, on one condition. I go, what's that? She goes, when I'm done, you let me put this in you, and I'll read to you. I'm like, fuck, deal. So, get back to the hotel. Sure enough, you know, we got into it. You know, had an amazing time. Nothing super special happened with her, but what happened to me was why she said I was worth remembering, and why she called me the freak. She called me my freak, her freak. So it was my turn, and yeah, I didn't give a fuck. So you know, I'm all stimulated up, and we had bought one of those fucking econo size of Astroglides, like the big ball Astroglides, like fucking $40 just for lube. Scarface down. So she's got this thing fucking, she's trying to push it in, right? She won't go in. I'm like, just fucking give her all you got. So if you can see, there's the black thing at the bottom, okay? It serves a couple of purposes. That's where the batteries go in, and there's like a flanger. The flange, well, I guess normally they'd be there to protect it from anal sex so it doesn't slide all the way in so you lose it, but this would prevent it. So I guess it's just a suction cup that was used
yeah, a suction cup, and the ring is what you turn to vibrate. So it's got a metal rod in here, metal rod going up through here that vibrates. So she's got this, and she's pushing it, and it won't go in. So what ended up happening is she snapped this piece, this plastic piece came off and broke off from the battery, snapped the threads. She was like, "Can't believe I fucking broke this thing off in your ass." I'm like, "Let me see that fucking thing." So I'm looking, I'm like, no, it's just a vibrating part. Take the batteries out and try it again. Downside, it doesn't vibrate. That was the downside. So she's trying again. I said, well, just make sure you grab the shaft of it so it doesn't bend, because it kind of flexed, right? She's fucking pushing it. She goes, "I got the fucking head in," something along those lines. And I guess she was just trying to kind of like put her shoulder in it, and the metal rod snapped inside the vibrator part, snapped, so it kind of went like this, and like her arm went forward and went up my back. I can't remember if she hit me in the head or not, but she was putting a lot of force, right? So yeah, so we broke the battery part, and she broke the metal shaft vibrating part inside Mr. Pleaser, trying to ram this thing in. Long story short, we never managed to get it in, because once that battery, the shaft was, the metal rod inside was broken, it was just too rubbery. It was no way. You know, of course, we laughed and we laughed and we laughed, and it was a great time and a fucking original story, and it was just a lot of laughs. One moment I won't soon forget. The only reason why I'm sharing this story is because it's Wednesday and I'm already at 42 hours, so a little fucking manic and a little elevated, you know. So I'm like that. I like to make fucking videos, so here we go. A really funny story. Oh, she was great. Fucking the times I had there. Oh, well, those days are over now. Now I'm just boring. Yeah, so Mr. Pleaser. Mr. Pleaser makes a comeback in my life. Yeah, so I kept this in, I don't know if people have it, but I have what I call a tickle trunk. Have all my personal shit in it, you know, so it's not lying around for everyone to see. And this was in it. I was in there trying to friggin' find a have personal license plate, and I can't remember where the fuck I put them. And they were in the bottom of the tickle trunk, covered up by this poster ad. So I found this and said, fuck it, let's tell the story. Yep. I'm finally just establishing a routine at work now. It's starting to feel more comfortable. At work and at home, adjusting at home with these kind of hours. I kind of figure I've been playing with times I wake up in the morning and go to bed. So what seems to be working is getting up at 1 in the morning, getting organized, going to work for 3:30, 4:30, or 5:30, and getting home, feeling not too bad. I figured what I'm going to do next week probably. Well, for sure I'm going to the gym this weekend, but next week, I'm going to take, depending on how I feel, I'm going to try without, but I have time for maybe an hour nap, you know, and then go to the gym. And if I have to, I have some time to pick up some stuff at the store if I need it, and be back home for 9, you know, another 5-6 hours, and I'm going to try that out. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. So things are getting better. Things are getting easier. You know, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I just have to adjust. Anyways, so there you have it. The freak versus Mr. Pleaser. And I don't know. Did I win? Lizzie, let's get take care of yourself, take care of each other. God bless you all.
Mental wounds not healing. Life's a bitter shame. I'm going